Hey there everybody, it's Matt Max Video, and today we're doing the seasonal anime roundup for the summer of 2017 season. As you can see, there's a good bit of them. This doesn't even scratch the surface of what all actually came out last season. This is just the stuff that I had the time to watch. I have, I think it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 of them. I will have a full listing of all of them in the description. So if you don't feel like going through this whole video just to see what all I'm going through, and you just kind of want to pick and choose as to what you think might be interesting, that'll be there. The way we're going to be doing this video is I'm going to draw 5 out of this cup. As you can see, there is, sorry, inverted. There's 5, well, there's all 14 of them in there. And I'm going to be giving it a good old shake. I'm going to pick one out, talk about it, and then move on. We're going to do the 5 like that, doing actual reviews of them. This is going to be a lengthy video, but I'm making it to where it's not as lengthy as it could be, because the way we're going to do the other ones, the other 9, are lightning rounds. So, yeah. Just so you can see. Alright. What is number 1? We have Restaurant to Another World. I have my notes here. The notes consist of names. I can remember plots fine. I can remember what's going on in a show fine. It's when you have to deal with names that all of them blend together in my brain, and it's just, So, yeah. Restaurant to Another World is a anime based off a light novel series. The studio Silverlink is the one that took the story and made it into the anime. It is 12 episodes long, and this is probably one of my top 5 in this season. Once I get done talking about all of them, even after the lightning round stuff, I'll tell you exactly which ones were my favorites and all that. But yeah, this is a really good one. It is not by any means what most people would enjoy. This is a slice of life, just sit down, have a good, it's just an easy to watch show. The concept of the show is you have a restaurant, Nicoya, Western restaurant Nicoya, and it is once a week on Saturday. It is available to be accessed through magical doorways from another dimension, from another world. Thus the name Restaurant to Another World. And the master of the restaurant, who we only know as Master, he's used to this. This has happened all the way since his grandfather. So he caters to these people from another world, and I mean, they're everything from dragons and lizard men and elves and fairies and all sorts of creatures. So, the show follows, though, the master of the restaurant, and his 2 waitresses, Aletta and Kuro. Aletta is a demon who was down on her luck. She couldn't find a job because she was a demon, and she happened to stumble upon one of the doorways to this restaurant, and came in, and the master offered her a job as a waitress, and she took it happily. And Koro is one of the dragons of this world, the black dragon. She's the dragon of death, and one of the doorways appeared in her domain, which is the moon, and she entered into it and fell in love with chicken curry. And the red dragon, who is also a patron of the restaurant, tells the master, hey, why don't you let her work here so she can work off the paycheck and work off the pay for all this chicken curry she's eating. So he agrees to that, and so that's your characters. Overall, this is a wonderful show. Like I said, do not come into it expecting action. There is some action scenes in it because it does follow each of the different patrons of the restaurant and their different lives and where they come from and how they found the doorways and whatnot. It's just a sit down and enjoy show. That's it. So yeah, Restaurant to Another World. Very good. Yeah, mark that off that I did that one. Next. I'm glad I got that one. That was a really good show. Next, we have this show, Aho Girl. Remember when I used to do those segments? What did I just watch? This is that show. Aho Girl. Let's see, where are you at on my list? There you are. It was made by Media Studios. It's 12 episodes long. This is one of those short episodes. It's only 12-minute episodes, and each episode has like 2 to 3 different little snippets in it. It's kind of like a 4-panel. The show follows Yoshiko Hanabataki. Probably butchered that last name, but Yoshiko, and she is an idiot, for lack of a better term. She's terrible at study. She doesn't have common sense. She's just dumb. And the show follows her and her neighbor, her friend, Akutsu, which she calls Akun. And he's, a diligent student, does his best in school and whatnot, but he's having to take care of her because he's the only one that can put up with her because they've been friends for years, and that's just how that's working. And it's just following them two, and the two other characters you follow are Sayaka Sumino and Fuki Iicho. And Fuki has a crush on Akun, even though he has the social aptitude of like a goldfish. But and Sayaka is friends with Yoshiko and is friends with Akun out of pity. So it's literally just a, what did I just watch? I just spent hours of my life watching this show. Do I regret watching it? No. I had plenty of good laughs in this show, but I do not recommend it to the casual anime watcher. It's definitely a completionist anime. So yeah, Hoe Girl. So one I'm happy I watched, and one that I regret that I watched. Next up, we got 2. Put that one back. Yes, love this show. Knights&Magic. Knights&Magic is a mech show, and it is made by 8-Bit Studios, 13 episodes long, and it kind of goes off that theme that we've been seeing a lot in anime lately, of a main character dying and then God taking them and putting them in a different dimension. We saw it in Saga Time of the Evil. We actually see it in another show this season, which we might talk about later. So yeah, Knights&Magic follows Ernie Echevalier, and he was a programmer in our world, and he is in love with mechs, with robots, mechs, Gundams, all that stuff, in love with it. So he got killed by being hit by a car, and he then was reincarnated into a world where magic and mechs exist. And he kept all of his knowledge from this world. So he became an expert at this stuff at an early age. Because magic in that world worked off the similar premise as programming does in this world. And he used that to his advantage, and he became an expert magic user when he was a child. He already went to he skipped elementary school, went straight to middle school magic, and once he got into high school, he started developing and building his own mechs. Um, and so, and eventually, the king granted him his own squadron of knights, uh, night runners, and they're called the Order of the Silver Phoenix. And you have his two friends who are Adultrude or Addy Altair and Arkid or Kid Altair. Addy has a crush on him, Kid, just like a brother to him. And you have a slew of other characters. This is one of those, if you're looking for an action show, this is the one from this season to watch. This is the one that grips you. Because this has been a show that I looked forward to every week, and it has not disappointed me yet. So yeah, if you're looking for just a good, solid action mech, I know mech is one of those genres that a lot of people shy away from, but this one really did it. It mixed the magic genre and the mech genre together so well that, oh, it's just fantastic. Beautifully animated, beautiful music. The characters are fun and easy to kind of just jump in and enjoy watching. So yeah, out of the three, this is probably my favorite one out of the three that we've looked at so far. I mean, it barely passes a restaurant to another world, but it does. Next, let's see what we got going next. Dig down deep. Okay, we have Fate Apocrypha. I contemplated not putting this one on this list because it's not complete yet. This is one of those that's going to be going for 2 seasons, but I thought I would at least introduce the concept of the Fate series to you. So, yeah, and oddly enough, my notes for Fate Apocrypha are literally ad lib, you got this. There's so much going on in this show, I could not possibly make it short and sweet. I'm almost glad that I got it out of a draw and not as having to do it in the lightning round, because good goody, that would have been difficult. Yeah, so Fate Apocrypha is, I think, the 4th installment to the Fate series, anime-wise. There's a bunch of other games and whatnot that follows it. Actually, yeah, Fate Zero, Fate Stay Night, Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, Fate Khalid, Fate Grand Order, and Fate Apocrypha. So there's like 7. I don't know anymore. It's numbers. And it's different than the other ones in the fact that it has 2 different factions fighting against each other. To where, and normally it's just each different hero and master fighting against each other. So in this one, you have the Yig Millennial and then the Order of Mages fighting each other. And the way the Fate series works is you have, I think it's 7 masters, Saber, Archer, Lancer, Rider, Assassin, Caster, Berserkers, yeah, 7. And each side has 7 different champions or heroes from, it can be fiction or history, doesn't matter. And like I said, they follow those 2 different, roles. You have Saber, which is, somebody that used a sword. In this case, I think we had Mordred and Siegfried from, mythology and whatnot, and Arthurian legend. Then you have Archer. In this one, it was Chiron from Greek mythology, and I cannot remember the other one, but yeah. Then you have rider, which is somebody that, was known for either being in a chariot or riding a horse in the battle or so forth, so on. And this one you have Astolfo, which was a paladin of Charlemagne, and he is a trap in the actual term for it, which is a male that looks like a female. And most people will see that character and not know it's from Fate Apocrypha because he is so popular right now. Like, I see it all over on the internet, and it's hilarious to me. The other one we have is Achilles. That's the other rider, which I didn't see that one coming. I never knew him as riding anything, but then you have Lancer, which I want to say it was Vlad Tepes, and a sun god. I think it was from some type of mythology. I can't remember what his name was, though. He's pretty powerful, though. He is a sun god, and fire is his friend. And Vlad Tepes, Dracula. Interesting. So then you have Assassin, which is Jack the Ripper's one of the assassins. Haven't really seen much of her in this one. Yes, they made Jack the Ripper to a she. What you gonna do? And the other one was some, like, I can't remember her name either. Then you have Castor. On one side it was a man that made golems, and the other side Shakespeare. Yes, that's right. William Shakespeare is a magic caster in this series. What? Then you have the Berserker class, which was Spartacus and Frankenstein's monster, and Frankenstein's monster was my favorite character in the show. Loved her. Yes, they made Frankenstein's monster into a lovable female, and I don't know how I feel about that. So yeah, they're fighting each other. This is like World War II times, I want to say. And they're fighting each other for the Holy Grail. Whoever wins out of the two factions then has to fight fight within the faction. So if like the Mage Association won, then all the servants from the Mage Association have to fight each other, and whoever then wins gets the Holy Grail. And when you get the Holy Grail, you get a wish granted to you, any wish you want. So, yeah. Like I said, this is halfway through now, well, a little more halfway. It's like, I think, 14 episodes in now, something like that. And really good. I love the Fate series. They're always beautifully done, beautifully animated, good character development. Makes you really care about these characters that are fighting each other. So, yeah. So, 4 out of the way. Let's see what number 5 is. I grab 2 again? Oh, that's just 1. Ah, yes. Gamers. Or as I like to call it, Misunderstandings the Anime. This is pick number 5, so last of our full reviews. Gamers is a anime made by Pine Jam Studios, 12 episodes long, and it follows a group of gamers and their endeavors in life of living in high school, finding love, so forth, so on. It's not about gaming, though they do have some interesting conversations about the gaming industry within the show. It's not a show about actual gaming, so don't go in thinking that, because you will be very disappointed. The main characters are Keita Amano, who is this just socially awkward, known to just stay in his room all weekend and play video games. Just that kind of guy. And then you have Karin Tendo, who is the epitome of popular pretty girl in high school. Everybody loves her. All the males, females, teachers, everybody loves her. What they don't know is that she's secretly a gamer, like an obsessed gamer. Like, she's the president of the gaming club at the school, but nobody knows, because she keeps it secret for some odd reason. And she invites Amano to be part of the gamer club. He comes as a trial basis and says, "Nah, y'all are just in it to compete with it. You're not in it to actually have fun. You're all about winning and not having fun." And this blows her mind. Like, she's like, what? I don't get what? Out of 7, what? And because of this, she actually starts following him around trying to figure him out because she's just so confused by that concept of playing games strictly for fun that she has to figure him out. And through all that, she actually develops feelings for him and to the point of like an obsessive crush on him. And yeah, so then you have the other characters in the show, which are Tasku Uehara and Aguri. They're a couple. Uehara is that popular guy that also nobody knows he's a gamer, and Aguri is just this girl that's obsessed with Uehara. And they're a cute couple, and Aguri and Amano actually become like brother-sister relationship. They're always there for each other, and Uehara is like that one that's trying to control everything from behind the scenes. Like, he's like, okay, they look good together, they should be a couple, but then again, you have this one, and I don't know anymore. Then you have Chiaki Hoshinomori, and she's probably my favorite character in this show. Her and Tendo are very close, and that makes sense once I explain that to you. Chiaki is this girl that Uehara just thinks that, hey, Amano and this girl make good friends. They have similar personalities, and he introduced them, and they become friends. But then, like, who is obsessively messaging me? I'm just gonna put you down there where you can't vibrate as much. um, so yeah, but the thing was, she doesn't like moe stuff, and he does, and that's what drove them into like being this like friends that hate each other kind of relationship. And Uehara's like, y'all are literally the same human being, just different genders. Why are you fighting fate? And he wants them to be together, but then he also sees how much, Tendo loves Amano, and he wants them to be together, and it's just, and that's the show. It's just misunderstandings causing things that didn't need to be a problem, making them into a problem. And it's just hilarious. I love this show. This is probably my top show of the season. So I actually got 3 of my favorite shows this season on this list, which that worked out really well. So yeah, definitely check out Gamers. You will not be disappointed. So yeah, so that's the 5 reviews. Now we're going to go into lightning round mode. We're just going to go down my list. Classroom of the Elite, a anime by Lurche Studios, 12 episodes long. This is about a school where you have to get in, you have to critical testing, but when you get in, a lot of secrets to this school. It's a point system. If you do well, you get points. If you don't get points. And points are money in this school. So follow as the lowest class of the poorest people in the school try to make their way up to Class A. In Another World with My Smartphone, a anime by production studio Reed, 12 episodes long, another show about a character that gets killed in our world and gets taken to another world. In this particular instance, God accidentally kills a kid with lightning and says, I'm going to put you in a world with magic and give you top stats. And you know what? And he also let him take his smartphone with him. And essentially he's just an OP character all the way through, and he meets some bunch of girls and becomes a harem anime, and it's just lovely and fun. So let's do it. Centaur's Life, the token anthropomorphic animal anime for the season. This is made by Hyoa Liners, 12 episodes long. It follows the life of a centaur named Himino and her 2 friends Nozumi and Kyoko. That's it. Couldn't remember names. As they live life in high school as a centaur, a demon, and a satyr. Good times all around. I actually tackle some deep issues in there too. I did not expect. Next, we have Sakura Quest, a anime I've been wanting to talk about for 2 seasons now. Sakura Quest is a 25 episode long anime by PA Works in their series of animes about people's jobs. This one follows Yoshino as she is selected to be the queen of a small town in Japan to try to revive the town and bring tourism back. Follow as her and the rest of the ministry staff try to bring the town back to life and bring a little bit more life back into this sleepy town of Monoyama. Next, we have My First Girlfriend is a Gal. Cringe the anime. Um, by Studio Naz, it's a 10-episode long with a couple OVAs, I believe. Follow as Junichi, a perverted, socially awkward kid. Ask out one of the most popular girls in school, and guess what? She says yes. Who knew? And follow along as he tries his best not to screw it up, and she slowly falls in love with this lovable idiot. Next, you have Chronos Ruler, just a random, run-of-the-mill action anime about people that can control time and use it to fight time-eating demons. By Studio Project Number 9, it's 13 episodes long, and it's not bad. It's worth the watch, I think. Next, we have Tsuredure Children, a adorable anime about just people falling in love and the different ways that people fall in love, meet, ask each other out, the different ways people express their emotions to each other. It's just an adorable little anime. Highly recommended. Next, we have Convenience Store Boyfriends by Studio Pierrot. It is a 12-episode long anime about a bunch of couples, kind of like in Tsuredure Children, but in this case, it's a month by month. Each episode is a different month, and it follows Haruku Mishima and Toya Honda as they try to ask out the girls they love. And there's a few other couples in there, but really, you just care about these two. They're just the lovable jocks that really just want to find love, and by gum, their girlfriends are adorable. Next, we have 18 If, the one anime I did not expect to like, but ended up did. By Studio Gonzo, which that's kind of how they work with me, is Studio Gonzo's animes. I don't expect to like them, but by gum, they end up being enjoyable. This is about a character by the name of Haruto, as he is stuck in the dream world because he's in a coma. And the way to him and a scientist by the name of Kazumi Kazaki, they're trying to get him out, but to do that, they have to defeat the witches of the dream world. And these are girls that are under Sleeping Beauty syndrome or in a coma, and they control their own dimensions with the dream world, and they can make their own rules, and they're the rulers of this place. And through the help of the character Lily, they just try to save all these girls from their own selves and bring them back to the waking world. Yeah, so that's all the anime that I watched from the summer 2017 season. There was one that I tried to watch, but I couldn't. And that was Reflections. And it was like their attempt at trying to be a comic book. I think it was actually written by Stan Lee. And I just couldn't do it. And I'll maybe pick it up again one day. I'm trying to pick up Handshakers again from back in, what was that, fall of last year? Or no, it was winter. Yeah, winter season. That was a bad one. But anyway, so yeah. Thank you all for watching. Like I said, I will leave a list of all of these different shows. You can find all of these on both Crunchyroll and Funimation. Well, except for Aho Girl, I don't think you can find Aho Girl on Funimation. So yeah. Check them out. Let me know if you watched any of these shows during this season. And as always, I love all of you guys, and I will see you in the next video.